Trouble in Our Skies began as a story about the evils of mega corporations. Since then, it evolved into a sci-fi story about a great city falling out of the sky, about family tragedy, about how major mistakes can often be a combination of multiple variables rather than just evil. It can be greed, stupidity, honest mistakes, human flaws. There are a lot of topics and ideas we wanted to explore with this story. How do you incorporate these revolutionary world hunger solving ideas into your game or project? How do you keep track of all of this information? How do you know what to scrap and what to keep? How do you prevent or reduce inconsistencies in your world, plot, and characters? If you can retain and process all this information in your brain alone, then you should be fixing the world because game dev and writing is too small for you. My process begins with this very simple tool called Draw.io. You can drag and drop shapes, write things, and draw lines to connect the shapes and texts. Aside from the story, I have also used Draw.io to plan out the simplification and downscaling process of the game to make it more manageable, as mentioned in my previous devlog. I personally like to start with this vertical container because it can actually contain the elements inside it and move it all around like it's one element. So I'll drop that in and give it a header. This will be for a character, so I'll name it Puppy. And from here I can just keep filling in notes about the character until it is ready to use. Notes about Puppy's favorite brand of food, does he like tummy rubs, all kinds of notes. You can continue to update it as the story develops. For now, you just want it to be good enough to assist you in your creative decisions. I also like to have all of the characters in one diagram so that I can link them up and write notes about the relationships, for example. We'll name this new character Cat. He likes tuna. We'll draw a shape between the two of them with a love-hate relationship header and link them both up to that new note. Part of the focus of my story is actually on a family. So what I did for them is I created this ultra big vertical box and put in all the members of the family as smaller containers inside the big container. You can also save the templates that you reuse a lot in your Scratchpad. There are certain events that were a turning point for the family. For example, the family head was promoted from manager to CEO of the floating city called Sisana. So that was when they became more deeply involved in politics. There is also the question about nepotism, how the family managed to hold their high positions in Sisana for so long, because they were the best thing that happened to Sisana, so I kept that as a note. You can endlessly create shapes and boxes and keep expanding on the world. Go big, go small, do whatever you want. Have fun with it. I think that there might be some advanced features in Draw.io that I didn't really dive into because I wanted to keep it dead simple. At some point while writing about the Spectre family, I started feeling like something about the timeline was messed up. So I created another block to the side for my timeline calculations, following the main events of the city and the family, to make sure everything added up until I got a clearer picture. I personally like to divide my game into 5 main parts: gameplay, story, sound, business, and art. And then I have one extra section called general. So I created 6 containers with their headers as such, and then for each container I dropped in the subcomponents that make up each main component. So for sound there will be SFX, voiceover, music, ambient, sound design. For code and bugs, I like to keep it in gameplay. I wrote above all the containers the milestones for my game. Aim to finish by end of December, no promises but I'll try. And then release by mid-January 2026. And then, like in the previous example, is just rinse and repeat. Create notes, drop it in, whatever pops up into your mind, drop it in, be scrappy about it. This is your secret box. Drop all your dirty little secrets right here. Don't be shy.